After how much I enjoyed reading issue 1, I cannot wait to read issue 2. Let's go! Welcome to Comic Club, welcome to an episode 2 of a new series of us reading Something is Killing the Children Volume 1. I am really looking forward to getting into this. I really enjoyed the first issue, my first ever horror book. Really enjoying it and really looking forward to getting further into the book and seeing how things progress. In a gist, what happened last time is that we met Erica Slaughter and we met James, the boy who was kind of the victim of seeing his friends murdered by this giant monster, and Erica is out to get this monster and needs James's help, and James has asked to help, and that's pretty much all that happened last week. What am I hoping for? I'm hoping, obviously, we're going to get more into it. We're going to see a bit more of a dynamic between James and Erica, and maybe that little girl who was in the red wagon with one eye and one arm. Hopefully she'll be more involved as well. Maybe we'll meet some other characters too and see maybe where this monster has come from, why it's here, why it is killing the children. So I'm hoping we might not get all of that in issue 2, but maybe we'll get it throughout these 5 issues. But that's pretty much the recap. That's what I'm hoping for as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and read it, and we're just going to go into a quick review. So without further ado, here we go. Cool. This issue took a different approach than the last issue. So the first issue was more of a hooking issue, where everything bad happens. You meet the monster, you meet the main characters, and then I think things properly get underway. In issue 2, you meet some more people. What happens here is you learn a bit more about the monster, because there's this one man named Tommy, and he is leaving to go to work, and he hears a noise and he says, "Hello, is anyone there?" And right next to him, like in his face, is this gigantic monster with blood dripping from its mouth, and he can't see it. So this shows that this is something that only children can see, and maybe Erica, well, we probably know that Erica will be able to see it. But this man, Tommy, he is the older brother of a little girl that got missing, and we can presume that it was taken by this monster. You learn a bit more about, Erica and James, the little dynamic they have between them. Like, all he does, he wants to help. He's a curious teenage boy. Just wants to know what's going on, wants to know what Erica does, and if she kills monsters, and she's done it before, and why does she do it, and all that kind of thing. Really enjoy it. There was one page in particular that I loved with Erica. It was they were in the restaurant. A bit of an ordeal happened. A bit of ruckus was chucked up in the air, and they had to leave the restaurant that they were in, that was owned by Tommy, this guy that we've met at the start of this issue, and they get kicked out pretty much. And so for this issue and the last issue, Erica's been getting a lot of phone calls with, like, I don't know, like a mission or like give an update and stuff like that, and it's really great. You can tell that she hates this phone, and she has enough. She's had enough of this person calling her all the time, and it's just Erica and James are walking down the street, and this phone starts ringing, and then it's like this classic scene. I'll show it, and it just says, it's just her just saying "fuck," and she's just fed up of all these phone calls from this guy. All we don't know a name, but she refers to him as an asshole, which is great. So, we're learning more about who she's speaking to on the phone, like, updates and that kind of thing. And then she kind of ditches James and goes to a motel. You then see what was not expected, very surprising, well, she's got like this toy octopus in her bag that she carries around. She goes to a motel room, gets the octopus out and starts talking to it about this monster, saying that it's a class E7 monster. I don't know if that's high, don't know if that's low, but I'm sure we'll find out later in the issues. And basically she's saying, like, this is it. It must be stashing its food somewhere. Are there any caves or lakes around? And she says, so I need you thinking on it in the meanwhile. Do you understand? And then this toy octopus just says, yes. Quite cool, quite creepy. But the owner of this motel has some complaints and goes to the room. The owner of the hotel calls a sheriff. Because there's lots of noises and weird things going on in Erica's bedroom. The sheriff goes to the door, sees these weird like tentacle shadows coming from under the door, and he knocks on the door saying, open up, I don't know what you've got in there, but I don't want any funny business. She goes, no, there's no funny business in here. Now what seems to be the problem? And she opens the door, and from this little toy octopus, you just see this gigantic, this whole height of the room, just some sort of ethereal, ghost-like, tentacle plant monster woman kind of thing, and that's exactly how I explain it, because that's what it looks like, and it's a cool issue. Nothing scary or creepy. The start was a bit creepy when he had the monster in Tommy's face, but apart from that, it was quite a good issue to help build on the characters and just find out more out about this kind of world that we're exploring, and all these monsters, and we've now met this new monster, this new glowy tentacle woman plant monster, and she must be a good guy, or is like being tamed and working for Erica. We don't know, we'll find out later on, but really enjoyed that story. It is getting a bit more into it now. I'm gonna keep it at an 8 out of 10. Art is really cool. So there are these panels in the book. There's a couple pages that do it, but I'll show you here. So you can see that there. You can see that it's kind of overlapping both pages. I really enjoy that. I've not seen that before in that amount. So it's really good. Instead of you reading down the page and then down the left page, down the right page, you are just going across the whole 2 pages. The only issue I do see with that is that it kind of, the crease in the page, it does stop you from seeing the entire panel. So if there is anything good drawn in there, then you might miss it, but the lettering and stuff aren't in that crease, so you can read everything clearly there as well. But that's, the paneling is really good there. Again, the art is there's nothing spectacular in this issue. There are a couple panels where you get a flashback of Erica killing some monsters, and then I think the most well drawn, original panel is the last page, where you do see that glowing ethereal monster lady. But I really liked it. I will give that a 7.5. Development, more development than last time, because we now know where we're going. We've learned a little bit more about the monster. Somehow Erica has found out this information about the monster, and we're going to be delving deeper into that, hopefully. Development. So it's, Erica is causing trouble in the town already. She hasn't been there very long. James has been sent home at this point, but Erica promises that he'll come back. She will come back for him. and yeah, that's pretty much it. So development, I don't think much happens. Like, I think a bit less happens than the last issue, so we'll go for a 7 out of 10 on that. But that is it. That is me done there. Really enjoyed that. I don't know what else to say. It was just a cool issue. Yeah, a bit of a. It wasn't scary or thrilling. It was just a bit. It was story building, but whilst also having that little bit of a grip. When at the start of the issue, the monster is right in Tommy's face, and you're like, oh god, okay, that's quite cool. So adults can't see this monster at all. So only kids, and we assume that Erica can see it as well. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, those are my scores. That's been it from me. If you like this video, please do comment and let me know what you thought. If you didn't like that issue, let me know. If you didn't agree with what I've said, let me know. But that's been me. If you've enjoyed, please subscribe, please like, please hit the notification bell. It all really helps. Please follow me on Instagram at ScottShelf, and please follow me on Twitter at ScottsShelfYT. But that's been it for me. I will see you next week. We'll go into issue 3 and we'll be halfway through this series. Brilliant. Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon. Bye.